What's up, everybody? Good morning. How's everyone doing this morning? We have an amazing day planned, or afternoon planned, to talk with you about Diablo Doughnuts here. I see they've joined. I just got a request to be in it. So Diablo just should be like a request to join. Let's see here. There we go. Should work. Here we go. Connecting.
There you go.
Hey, what's up, Roz?
What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm doing awesome. How are you?
I'm good, man. Good. Just had a little bit of a crazy day, but it's that time of year and it's always fun.
Yeah, so I figured I'd bring out all the gear today.
I know, man. I'm looking.
know?
I'm like, you're rocking it all.
I got the hat, I got the shirt.
That's awesome.
I got all my stuff here, and we'll get into it. So thanks for being part of this. This is our third Saturday of interviewing donut shop owners, chefs, all those alike, and it's taken off pretty nicely so far. Had a lot of positive feedback, so thanks for joining me. Everyone that doesn't know, but we have Roz, owner, head donut slinger of Diablo Doughnuts.
The old school shirt.
Yeah, that's the old school shirt. I have a green one like that.
Do you?
Diablo has been part of my donut history, being Donutbragger, and it's been about 3.5, 4 years that from when I met Roz, and right away, I can tell that it was going to be a long-term friendship. So from the moment I walked in, the way that he, talks to you and is engaged in conversation, and just a genuine person. So I'd like everyone to meet Roz here, and we're going to talk about Diablo, and get the word out to everyone of my followers, and and drive some online business your way. So that's part of what we're going to talk about today.
That's what it's been, man. Honestly, it's been a month and a half around now. We've been back open, and it's been a little crazy, man. Computers suck in some ways. So I'm trying to figure. I'm not a computer guy. I can figure out donuts. I can figure out my hand stuff, but when it comes to working on a computer, I'm useless, dude. I'm glad I don't work in that industry. It's definitely been a stressful. I think it's been stressful. The guy at Square, I'm pretty sure we're on a first name basis. It's rather funny because when I call him now because I have issue, he'll be like, dude, I have to tell you, like 5 minutes into the conversation, we're being recorded, so So I'm like, yeah, all right, we're good. So, yeah, definitely. Something real different.
So
Chef Emily behind me.
Hey, Chef Emily, how are you? Good to see you.
Delightful. In New
Uh,
York, don't mind me.
So, and I was thinking last night, I was like, all right, what am I going to ask Roz? We've talked so many times, I'm with all of these things going on with COVID, haven't been able to get into the shop, haven't been able to travel, haven't been able to do all the things that I like to do when I am on the road, especially, stop in and check out what's going on, all the new stuff. But something that I realized that I never asked you,
Yeah.
How did you get into the donut business?
So I used to make donuts with my grandmother when I was a kid. And I had a motorcycle accident, and I couldn't tattoo I was a tattoo artist for a long time. And I couldn't tattoo anymore. I can't draw a straight line anymore. I couldn't even sign my name when it first went down.
You get in trouble at the bank all the time. He can't sign his name the same ever.
So yeah, we've had an issue. But no, so I was basically just hanging out, and a friend, I was making donuts at home. We're basically just going out, getting drunk. I couldn't do stuff I had to do for work, so I started spending my savings doing things, and I was finding myself making dough. And then after I went out, I'd come home at like 2:30, 3 in the morning, and make donuts for a couple hours, and just like goof off and do like weird stuff, which I think is weird, which is stretching it pretty far. I did a cranberry. One of the first donuts I did was my yeast rise kind of style, and cranberry glaze. I found the cranberry cheddar cheese and crumbled it up on it, and fresh prosciutto. Let me tell you, dude,
Oh.
it's actually really good. And there was stuff like that, dude. There was like the sour cream and chive one I did. There's some different things like that. That's what started it. And my buddy Rodney Henry from Dangerously Delicious Pies here in Baltimore was on Food Network Star. And he made that whole run all the way to runner-up, man. And after they tape all the episodes except for the last one, and then they tape it a couple months later. But so in between that time, when they start doing all the shows, you have to go local and promote all your stuff around town at the local bars, stuff like that. So he had pies. He's like, dude, your donuts are great. Bring your donuts to the bar and just set up, hand them out, whatever, and have a couple cards give out, and you can do them at your house. So I did that for a while, and it kind of took off fast, man. Baltimore didn't have anything like this. So we were like the first ones to pull something like this off. A lot of traditional bakery stuff like that in Baltimore. And more cake stuff like that stuff, you know? So,
and I will have to say, you are the best donut shop in all of the state of Maryland, and in many other states, in my opinion. And the only, what's interesting and what a lot of people don't realize is how difficult the donut business is. And you, throughout everything that's been thrown at your way, and it's been a lot, have been able to continue to grind it out and keeps providing great donuts to the city of Baltimore. And you see all these shops that like, oh, I'm gonna get into this game. I'm gonna put out amazing donuts. I'm gonna kill it. And they're out of business in 3-4 months.
It's work,
so,
dude. It's actually a lot of work. It's crazy how much work it is.
Sleepless nights, up 12 o'clock starting to do the process.
9
So
o'clock last night, dude.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. And I'm just like, literally, I just got in. I did that other interview on for the Baltimore for the Wilmer Eye Center in Baltimore. We did do they do a donut crawl from donut. Like this year they couldn't do it, so they go from shop to shop in Baltimore, and they end up, and so we're a part of that. We've been part of it all 4 years, and it was so cool, dude. And I got to go online because they couldn't do it this year, of course.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but they were doing donations, stuff like that. So it was fun, man. It was definitely a good thing. So I'm getting ready to crack this open. You haven't had one of these yet.
I know. I have not had one yet, but that was a great segue. One of the first donuts that I've ever had at Diablo was unicorn farts.
Yes.
And it still is one of my favorite donuts. It's still holding on to my favorite. Doughnut is probably a close second. And I know that Chef Emily was behind the Doughnut.
Yes.
And so I'll say that Roz is my favorite donut is unicorn farts, and Emily's is Doughnut. So
she wants the Doughnut story.
So Doughnut is like OG grandmother recipe. So I'm one of 13 very, 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 very close cousins. We all grew up pretty buddy to buddy. There's anywhere from like 9 months to maybe a year and a half between all of us. So it's just like one after the other. And my grandmother has, or is in the process of selling, sad face, a beach house. And we all pile in there. 3-bedroom, didn't matter. 35 people deep. That's just what it was. Well, when it came time to Sunday morning, my grandfather's in love with donuts, but to feed that many people, it gets quite expensive. So we developed the monkey bread recipe. And so we would make it in 2, 3, 4 bunt pans, let it proof in the oven overnight. And when we were leaving to go to church, don't recommend, but left the oven on. And when we got back, it was done. And that's where it started. So when we were trying to figure out what we could do with our holes and the scraps, if you must, of the dough, and we didn't want to, cinnamon rolls, don't get me wrong, love them, but different things you can do. So I was like, you know what, this is the time. This is the time to whip out the recipe. And so the original is the classic monkey bread flavor, if anyone knows it true to the heart. And then for some of the seasons, we've changed it out. We've done a fluffernutter, which had peanut butter and marshmallow. We've done, what was the one that I shoved? Oh, the cherry cheese one. That was good. I had shoved cream cheese in the center of that with some cherries on top.
The first one I had was during Halloween. Was that the OG, the original?
I believe so.
Yeah, the cinnamon sugar one, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
something about original, you know? The original.
Well, actually, it may have been the coffee cake one. Did that streusel on the top?
Yeah, it did.
That's the coffee cake one. That's fire. That one's got a little extra pizzazz.
Yeah, that one was amazing. So let's segue into Duclaw Brewery and what they're doing. I mean, this was just like it was like a year and a half ago, maybe.
No, it's been a full year. So a year and a half ago, they came to us and they were like talking to us now. A year ago, so exactly like a year ago now, we would have released the beer last year.
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's, right around St. Patrick's Day.
No, it was St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, was it? And it took off like crazy. Like, it was kind of cool though, because when it originally took off, there were a bunch of states that wouldn't carry it because of its name.
Really? Yeah, I saw in the article. It's like the article's like unicorn flatulence or something.
There was a bunch of like southern states, like the Bible Belts and stuff, were like, oh no, anything with name farts, no. Which is hilarious is after it got released and it got like so much press, they actually called them and were like, can you send us that beer? Like, oh my God. So last year, 19 states, France and Canada got beer. France got like 400 cases.
Really?
Yeah. And then this year, I think 20 some states got it just because we had to can it all because of what's going on. It was supposed to be like because of this and everything, so many events were missed out on and nobody could open their bars here. I don't know how it is there, but
yeah, same thing.
Nothing. So it all wound up being canned and stuff this year, and it's doing well.
A lot of the bars got a carry like permit while this was going on. So if they didn't normally have, they now could get it. So Duclaw actually just had a whole new canning system. So hopefully it'll be coming to any states that are waiting soon.
Where in Florida? Do you know where in Florida?
No, I can find out though. And
if
just
you go on their website, they have a beer locator off your zip code.
All right,
cool. I didn't know that, so that's good. Get out of here. So yeah, but no, it's really cool, man.
Yeah, my buddy Phil's Exotic Kitchen.
Yeah.
He's a big beer guy, and when I posted that, he's like, I've never heard anything like that. I need to try it. He's out of Boston. He just joined us actually.
That's awesome. The funny thing about it is, if you hold your phone right up to it, you can really see the glitter in it. It's kind of crazy. You can't see it so much now, but you can see it when it's in it, or like a light to it.
And what's the flavor? How is it? What do you do?
We use the mash. We use the Fruity Pebble mash, and then it's a strawberry tangerine, and then it's got a hint of beet powder in it to give it a little bit of a pinkish color, like it's a pinkish yellow color. It's weird, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, and it's one of those sours. Like I love sours. It's one of those sours that you can drink. Some of them are like they hit you, and it's like, oh. This one is kind of mild, but it's got a good taste to it. I really enjoy it.
Nice.
So, yeah.
What So how are you involved in it? Are you in the making of it, or how do you?
Well,
How does...
this year we were supposed to be. It was based off the donut originally, and this year we were actually supposed to go and actually help and brew it and stuff. Um, in reality, we didn't really do our names on it. It's all part of it. Like if you look on the label right here, it's like got our logo and everything. But the thing is we didn't ask for money for it. Like I've had other friends that have worked with them and they're like, oh, I need money for it, stuff like that. But we're like,
Yeah,
man, their
it's
promotion
cool.
team, their promotion team is so incredible, dude. This beer has been on. I was supposed to be on its Today show, Trevor Noel show. I mean, and like all across like wide lengths of stuff. You know, we got to do a photo shoot with me in a bathtub with Fruity Pebbles and stuff like
I
that.
saw the photo shoot. Let's talk about that. How was being in a
Cold as
bathtub
hell.
full?
So we're in an alley. We're in Graffiti Alley in Baltimore. If some of you don't know that, it's this alley that's in not a really nice part of town, but beautiful graffiti on like the whole alleyway, and it ends. And they were like, we're going to buy a bathtub from Home Depot, and we're going to fill with Fruity Pebbles, and you're going to climb in and take photos. The thing is, they picked the coldest day of December to do it in, and I'm basically naked with a leather apron on and my metal roller. So I'm sitting there, and in between shots, I have a Chewbacca like bathrobe with a hood on it. So I'm like all curled up in that, like trying to not be cold. And then I had to go back to the shop afterwards, and it was so cold, man. But it was based off the Lizzo photo with her with all the I can't remember what was in the tub with her, but it was the Lizzo photo that she did. It was based off of that.
I mean, it was hilarious.
Yeah, Skittles. It was the Skittles, the Lizzo. Yeah.
I'm going to
So, yeah, I don't know if you can see, but some of the photos, well, that was the photo, of course, but I got a whole calendar of it. So bad. But yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. Like stuff like that is so good for your business. Like if you can partner with somebody and they've got all these connections, and like it's a totally different product than what we do. We don't sell at the shop. We don't have a liquor license, but we've got to do so many events where people were like, "Oh, you do the donuts? Let's bring your donuts in with the liquor, and we'll have a unicorn party and this and that." Last year we got to do Pride in Annapolis, Maryland, and they set it up in all the bars. So we had a bar crawl, and we tapped everyone, like 12 bars or something. It just went from bar to bar to bar during Pride Parade. So it was so cool. It was like, this is rad, dude. It was just, it's good to see people getting into something like that, and it's just where it's fun, you know, man. And this whole thing is about being fun. I mean, you can't have a donut without a smile on your face, you know, and same thing usually with a drink. You know, you have beer, you have a smile on your face. Kids are happy, they have a donut, you know. It's like, I tell everybody, especially with our shop, I was saying it earlier, it's like you come in our shop and it's set up to get rid of the world outside, you know. Put a smile on your face, you have a donut. You kind of like are standing there and you're talking to everybody, you know. It isn't just one person standing there like, oh man, blah blah. It's everybody kind of like jumps into the conversation. It's a good vibe and it's a good feeling, you know. So
Yeah, and I mean, I say it all the time, and you just said it perfectly. Like, I don't think I've ever seen somebody eating a donut with a frown.
No.
And if they do have a frown, there's definitely something wrong, and they should not be eating donuts. They should be eating something else.
No, definitely.
It makes everyone happy.
And the cool thing about us is our donuts are so different, like texture, feeling, taste even. When you have them, I have people that, oh, I don't eat donuts, and they'll have ours, and you'll see them next week back. You know, I'm like, I thought you liked donuts, you know, and they're like, no, these are different, they're good. So
we actually have a question from one of our viewers here. What was your biggest donut flavor fail?
Man, that's a tough one. I can't remember. None. No. I definitely had some.
Well, I remember back at the old shop in the
Yeah.
pizza shop, which is a cool story that people should know.
Yes, definitely.
You were flavor testing the everything bagel donut, and we did a
Yes.
taste test. Okay, does this have too much sour cream? Does this have too much
Yes.
seasoning?
Remember,
Ranch
because we
dressing.
did like a ranch. I did a ranch glaze, and I did a sour cream and onion glaze, and then it just went with the vanilla glaze because it was the everything bagel one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we went with just the plain vanilla glaze with the everything bagel seasoning, and that worked. That gave it a good balance. The other ones were kind of like almost gritty or too much like flavor against all that stuff. That's probably one of my, like, as far as flavor figuring stuff out, is that one, I think. Yeah.
What is your favorite Diablo donut?
Blackberry lime, man.
Blackberry lime.
I stand behind that blackberry lime 100%, man. That, and then our key lime curd. Our key lime curd is to die for, man. I love that stuff. Like, oh God, you give me a spoon and I could eat all of it.
You're gonna have a tough act to follow with the key lime, with my Florida peeps.
Yes. Yes, no doubt. Some people put that key lime, some people get that real like crazy lime green looking key lime and stuff. And our key lime's just a natural like light color, nothing crazy. But I love it. I really do. So yeah. Yeah, I know you guys are in Florida, so I probably don't have any room to talk down there about it. Key lime.
Hey, you know what? You never know. You never know. I've had many key lime donuts down here that weren't as good as I was was anticipating. So certainly. I want to talk about the B-Dubs Toasted.
Nice.
So those of you that are watching now, about December of 2018, Diablo Doughnuts created a donut for the Donutbragger, the B-Dubs Toasted. And this thing was incredible. It was a Long John donut with candied bacon, bananas, and it had, what's that?
Burlade bananas.
Burlade bananas.
Yeah.
And it had cream cheese.
Center.
And for those of you that want to see it here, it's one of my favorite pictures.
Nice.
But it was one of those donuts that, someone was asking a question about my donut haul yesterday that I, for all the places that I went to, if you have all these donuts and you eat them hours later, how do they taste the same, or are they stale or anything like that? And the B-Dubs Toasted, I'm telling you, it lasted 3 days and still tasted amazing.
Wow.
One time I brought one home to my wife, who's actually watching and commenting up the, that was one donut. I brought it home. She was like, "Oh my God, this thing is incredible."
That's so great.
And then, a few months later, you made a whole bunch of them for us, and I brought them up to her camp, and it was, again, it was 24 hours later, and they taste just as good as when I ate it in the shop. So when I look at all these shops that are shipping donuts and all of that, it's really hard, and I'm sure it's hard to ship donuts.
I don't even understand. We've tried, man, and we sent you donuts.
Yeah, you sent me donuts for my birthday.
They didn't work right, It just, they were all right when I got there. I'm sure it tasted good, but
yeah,
the
look and feel.
Who knows what the hell they go through between here and there,
Yeah, and that's why there's companies that are doing it right now, and I think it's Goldbelly that's out there that's shipping 24-hour shipping.
Yeah.
And what it turns out to be is you have to make the donut. You have to put it all together. Yeah.
We're doing
So
boxes like that now. Do you see that?
yeah, I saw that. You know, I mean, kids love it. They can't go out right now, so it gives a
Yes.
project for people to do.
And we're going to pick one and put it on every week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like whatever kid, like we're going to have them post it, and like we're like tag us in it, and we'll pick one, the one we like, and we're going to make it that special that week, and you name it, or we'll name it after you. So yeah,
Oh, that's so cool.
yeah,
I didn't
it's
know that.
keep everybody in the loop with it all,
Yeah. So I wanna bring on a guest with us here. So hey, Colpstar,
Nice.
Miles, come here. So everyone that's watching, we're gonna bring on Colpstar, who's been making appearances on my page here, has her own page, and Miles World here. But you know, in terms of being a good person and giving back, it's always been something that you've been a part of, Roz. So it really it's something that speaks volumes about who you are as a person and everything that you've done for the countless charities that you're a part of.
Yes.
But one that when I reached out to you, I think it was last year. My daughter, is a type 1 diabetic, and you're like, what can we do?
Yeah.
And so here's Colpstar right here. She's right here. Ah, you gotta get in.
He's hiding. Hi, sweetie.
So and Roz made a customized a donut for her and donated so everyone could see that.
That was the best.
Yeah. So and
That was a cotton candy flavored.
Chicken nuggets.
cotton candy flavor
Yeah.
with
A
like
chocolate
the,
star.
Hey, Mom's on there.
and it was
Hey,
awesome. So again, thanks for all that you always do for me and for all the charities out there. What's some of the other charities that you're involved in?
So we do, like I said, the Baltimore, which is the bike thing, and that's for the Wilmer Eye Hospital in Baltimore. We also do Movable Feast, which is two things. They just changed like at the end of last year, but one of them is they bring people in and teach them like a trade. So they have a culinary school, and they teach like second chance kind of style stuff. And then we actually hire some of those people, bring them into our shop, and give them a chance.
I actually talked about that in one of my last interviews. How it's such a great concept to be able to give back and bring in people that may have not been given an opportunity to learn how to do things.
And that's tough sometimes. I mean, in life in general, man, everybody all the way across the board, everybody always has a spot in life they look back on and they're like, all right, I have to change. Or you usually, as you get older, you figure your life out a little bit and it changes. And I think that's one of the companies that we definitely support. Movable Feast. We do stuff at the shop all the time. We do a happy hour. Last year we did a happy hour. We had a drag queen host it all, and it was great. And it was just like, Duclaws donated a bunch of beer. We donate donuts, and it was the donation, stuff like that. That's always fun. The Baltimore, some stuff with Hopkins. We do some awesome, some other cancer stuff, and it's different. There's a bunch of things we actually do. I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but definitely, it's one of those things, man. It's what you have to do in life, man. I don't care who you are, what you do. Everybody is, be nice, man. Basically what it boils down to is like, you put your heart out there, let people see what you do and who you are. And like I said, man, before, it's all about a donut,
Yeah.
You put a smile on somebody's face, you enjoy it, and that's really where it's at, man. I'm not looking for a whole bunch of recognition or anything like that on it. I could care less. I wanted to have fun with it, man. And that's what we do,
Yeah.
That's totally what we do. And it's all about just enjoying life. And you got people like her, that love it. And,
Yeah.
and I mean,
put
there's so
smiles on
many
people's
things.
face. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, everything that's going on in the world right now, just be nice to people.
Yeah, dude.
Be nice to people, and I watch everything that's going on, in Baltimore right now, and I saw what happened in your shop, early on, and it's just be nice. Like what
Yeah.
is that solving? What is throwing something through your window? I mean,
Dude,
what is
I
that?
lucked out. I so lucked out. I've seen other people that got way worse than me, but that brick, when it went through my window, it went into the wall, came out, and it literally probably went 150 feet into my shop, and it missed all the glass display and everything. And it was thrown so hard that it came off the wall, and it chipped a piece of ceramic tile on the baseboard, like 150 feet down. Like that's how far it got thrown hard through it.
Oh,
And all they did was take stuff that was in the window, like the devil mask. They took off the skeleton. They broke the skeleton in half. Took some mugs and stuff. Whatever, man.
yeah. So I mean, it just be nice.
Nothing
Like
was worth.
that's
Nothing was worth it. And that's what I say all the time, man. There's no reason to be. One bad apple makes everybody look bad, And like it sucks that you have a group of so many people out there and protesting and stuff, which is great. And then you have a couple of bad people that just are
That was before
assholes.
all of it, though.
I mean, in reality, it's
Yeah.
like, why be a jerk? Why be like that? There's no reason. It makes people, there's so many better things to do in life than have to
Yeah.
worry about like stuff like that. There's no reason to. Like, I
Right.
shouldn't have to board my shop up because I'm afraid. Like, the one window got broke was like, what, $500? The other one, dude, is that curved glass. It's a half an inch thick. It's a $3,500 piece of glass.
And
it's
that's
just like,
looking
oh,
at.
man.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Nah,
I
and
mean,
I'm glad. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad that's all that happened.
yeah,
I am very glad. I mean, people lost their businesses. People like got stuff burnt down, stuff like
yeah.
that.
I mean, you're very lucky to be able to pivot to
Yes.
online, and
Yes.
then
Well,
still be
that's
able to
good.
sell out, right?
We definitely knocked it down. We aren't doing as much. I mean, it's literally me, Emmy, and my mother-in-law. So,
I mean,
but
hey, you're selling out. You're still selling out.
yeah.
The
And I mean,
days
we
that you're doing
definitely
it.
cut it back, but nothing crazy, man. I mean, you're still pumping out like probably 80 dozen a day. Nothing to like, we're able to do it. I'm exhausted. I'm only doing 3 days a week, and I'm like today, I'm like, I'm done. And this week was a little weird, to tell you the truth.
Social media was weird.
Our social media was weird because how we're doing orders on like one day and then the next for the weekend. So like Tuesday for Friday, Wednesday for Saturday, and then Thursday for Sunday. So
So how do people tell people how they can order for the local Baltimore people?
the local Baltimore people, 410dough.com, and we release everything at 9:00 in the morning on like Tuesday for Friday, like I said, and then Wednesday for Sunday, Saturday, and then Thursday for Sunday. Man, I go on live, that, not 8:30 in the morning, and I'm out there bullshitting with y'all, letting everybody know, and then you just pick your donuts, and it's great, dude. Let me tell you something. So many people love it because they're like, man, it's like a concert, like back in the day when I'd have to wait for concert tickets, and I'm like, go, and they're loading donuts up. And
until the website doesn't load.
sometimes the website had issues. That's why Square knows me so well.
Right. I mean, but again, you know what it is? It's not necessarily the website, right? It's the traffic to the website. So
Well, traffic to the website, yeah, and then just like they didn't make that website for what everybody's doing too. Like that was developed for like, here, I'm gonna do a small amount.
Then a credit card.
But when you're doing everything through it all, like your whole business right now, people are doing it everywhere. And it's like, it definitely puts strain on it. They're updating it constantly and changing it and stuff. And man, God bless them, man. Honestly, their customer service is great. They're great. I get stressed out. Anybody's going to get stressed out in this whole situation. Even being home and doing nothing, you're still going to get stressed out. There's like, even it's it
Instead of physical, it's
just
mental.
sucks, man. I mean,
Yeah.
you're worried about business. I mean, I'm sure you're in the same boat,
Yeah.
like, what am I going to do? How's this going to float?
Yeah, I mean, our office in Linthicum that we have, we had to go to a work from home model. We had to shift things. We're worrying about employee safety. We're my other company that people may or may not know.
Yeah.
Call for Health is an essential business, and we're answering phones for the healthcare industry, and our employees have to work and we have to keep them safe. And, it's a tremendous amount of stress. So, it's a crazy world we're living in right now. And, I think, everything that everyone's doing to stay afloat, will just make it a little bit easier to prosper, when things do turn around, which, hopefully they do soon.
But no, honestly, that's the biggest thing, man. With any of us right now is like, one, we're learning a whole new business. No matter who you are, what you're doing, you're learning a totally different style to your business. And patience and dealing with this is like, we're changing the shop some around and stuff. We're going to put a little less tables in it and make it pick up worry. We worry about it all, especially for the long run and stuff like that. So we want to make sure that we're able to produce enough and then get stuff just going normal, as normal as what we can. And for pickup and easiness of in and out kind of stuff, and not have the big tables in the back and stuff like that, and cut some of that out just because of what has happened. And we're looking towards other things as far as that goes. So we're going to have a bigger kitchen area. We'll be able to produce a little more, and then we'll also be able to feel like, I mean, honestly, are we safer? I don't know. But we want to feel that way, and we want to feel like we're putting it out there as we are. Hopefully it works out that way,
Yeah.
So.
It's definitely something that you got to be concerned. It's not just the safety of the people walking through the door. It's the safety of the people in the shop. It's the safety going out of the shop.
Yes.
There's so much that you have to think about now with all this stuff.
And it's as a business owner, you want your staff to be healthy. You want your customers to be healthy. And that was my biggest thing about closing for what we did. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm sure you had there too. A lot of shops stayed open the whole time.
Yeah.
And like, people were upset with us. And I was like, I'm sorry. I can only do so much. And I don't want to put myself in a situation where I feel like I did wrong. So I think we just close the whole thing down for a little bit and then figure it out as we go a little bit, as stuff comes together. Then we can bring it back in and make it happen and open up and feel somewhat safe about what we're doing.
Smart.
Right.
And be smart about it.
How long were you shut down for?
Month and a half.
Okay.
So guess what, man? 7 years, the longest time I've had to do absolutely nothing. Man, can I tell you how much I slept? Oh my God, man. Oh yeah, me and Emmy got to date, so that was cool. Like, we got to hang out and
you got married too.
Not yet. We had to cancel it. That happened.
I thought you got your marriage license and stuff.
No, the 30th of March, we were supposed to go to Vegas and do it all. And the
baking convention was out there.
Yeah,
going out for
the pizza and baking convention, like arts and bakery convention. We were psyched. We were like, yes. And then it happened. So it's cool, man. You know what? It'll come along and we'll figure it out. And we aren't going nowhere. We bought a house together last year, so it's good, man. We got a beautiful house. Our dogs are happy.
We've been here 10 months.
And now you could be engaged for a little while longer and date and do all those things.
Well, it was just like we were always working. It's like so much work together, and we're always together. But it was like we never got to go anywhere because of the hours that we do work, and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. So
spent a lot of time with family.
So yeah, but in reality, it's cool because of like now, the business is definitely seeing a new turn.
Reaching a new clientele.
And yeah, reaching new clientele. We're seeing new people, people who love the business and love like just what we're putting out. And I'm sure it's the same with you guys, supporting the small guys in the neighborhoods,
Yeah.
stuff like that. We've definitely changed some things. We're doing that cold brew now that we're brewing in house and all local, and we're doing as much as we can, and it's taking off like crazy. So we're bottling it all in shop and everything. So
Wow.
it's pretty cool.
With 3 people.
Yeah, tell me about it. That's why I go in at 9:00 at night. Dude, it's like I told you, I'm working 3 days a week right now, and I'm.
Well,
But in those 3 days that you're working, you're doing 20 hours a day. So 60
Yes.
hours in 3 days.
Yes, it's just that. Yeah, we're just making sure that we're trying to do it, though, and we're just keeping it a steady pace, nothing crazy. We're just trying to keep it good, man. That's all. And
We got a
that's
question.
Stay healthy too. We
Yeah.
work
Yes.
ourselves all the way down, and we're bound to get sick.
We have a question here from Eagles and Heat. What are the other changes Diablo customers should expect for COVID era when governor loosens up restriction?
So yeah, we're just like I said, we're gonna take away some of the seating.
the display's a little more covered.
Yeah, we're gonna recover how our display was just glass at the top, like it just went up, no glass on top. We're gonna have a covered display. If you remember, we had a lot of donuts out all the time.
Yeah.
We're just gonna have one
That
of
never
each
gets
flavor,
served.
and that never gets served. It's gonna go in trash at the end of the day. So that's gonna be one of the big things.
No outside airs.
Yeah, just no outside. We're going to keep the shop, unfortunately, closed, stuff like that. Like
The
doors closed, stuff like that, where I love the open doors, stuff like that. So, no, I love the outside. I wish I could have it all outside, tell you the truth, but
Yeah.
it's not. So it's definitely going to be a little bit of a change. I'm just hoping we can do more.
Yeah.
Actually, I want to do more outside of the shop also. We're working on our truck. So that's something I'm definitely trying to get that up within the next 6 to 8 months and get that going. So we can just make the donuts in the shop, throw them on a truck, and do more events. I really want to like the beer thing and hooking up with different local breweries, stuff like that. Have donut and beer nights like we were doing with Gordon Biersch.
Yeah.
So like stuff like that. I really want to
Even
get.
just with the Duclaw.
I just want to get out more, man.
Yeah.
I love the shop. Don't get me wrong,
We
but
started
Not be stuck behind the dough.
yeah, man, I want to branch out, and I can sell so much more to like different areas and stuff like that as far as that goes. So that's one big thing. That's one
Sorry.
big thing for us to do as far as like getting out and doing more.
So how was National Donut Day for you? Was it it wasn't good?
No, it's really bad.
Oh man.
Yeah, I know. And it's one of our biggest days.
It was a rough day for
So
Baltimore.
it was a rough day for Baltimore.
Tuesday was, which
definitely.
was the ordering day.
Yeah, so the ordering day it was the blackout Tuesday. Not a lot of people did stuff. It definitely hurt a lot of businesses, and that was our order day for Friday. So
Yeah.
and then
We did more for walk up.
yeah, we did some walk up stuff. So definitely, but
We did stuff with other small businesses.
I love the fact that we did get to do more with like some small businesses and stuff, and like local, like some local stuff. We did some realty companies that we usually don't do, and they were giving out the smaller donut we do.
Yeah.
So they were giving them out, stuff like that. So it's definitely really cool. So
hopefully next year, we'll be celebrating National Donut Day in a little bit different fashion for sure.
dude, I hope so, man.
I want a nice long line.
I want a nice long line. I want to have some fun with it, and that's the whole thing with it. I definitely want to have fun with it, and that's my goal now is to be more like that. And we don't know where we're going next, man.
Yeah.
So we've
I mean,
been
that's-
trying.
That's what I saw yesterday. I mean, I had a nice donut tour yesterday, going to all the local shops around here, and only one shop that I went to had a line.
Yeah.
And it was a little. I mean, because in the last year, I mean, forget it. You'd wait online for an hour,
Yeah.
to pick up donuts. And the only reason why, the one that had a line, he just opened his shop, and it's a pop-up shop that, you know, his place is still being worked on. So, you know, people have been like waiting for him to come out, and he's doing like this pop-up thing, and that's why there was a line. But all the regular donut shops that you normally go to, there was no lines. There was like people like just hurting, you know.
Yeah, man, I don't understand like that. Like, there's so many people now. Baltimore's just doing. I don't know if you guys have it yet, but they were doing outdoor seating here. And
Yeah, they're doing outdoor seating.
They're like closing off streets, and like you can sit in like some of the streets. I don't know how they did it there, but you still have to get a permit in Baltimore and stuff, which is kind of weird. But I mean, I guess some people are doing really well with that because they have the area to put seating and stuff like that. We really don't have that, so I'm kind of like we're planning on opening up in July like normal if we can, taking the wall down as long as everything's still safe and see where we're at, you know.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay.
I could talk to you for hours.
I know.
I really, we always do.
Yeah, we end up. I probably get you in trouble, and I'm bad about it. But no, honestly, like anything going on right now, honestly, we're just taking day by day and just feeling it out, man. I mean, that's what you gotta do. No matter who does what or whatever, we just have to feel this out and make sure you feel comfortable with it. There's a lot of stuff that everybody has to make sure they feel comfortable with in the long run. With it.
Yeah. And so my final question, it's actually going to be for Emily, actually. So are you at when your wedding happens, are you going to have a donut cake?
I mean,
Do you know somebody makes good donuts?
Or will you make your own donut cake?
I think we might go for one of those like ones that looks like a donut, possibly. But the inside might be something totally different. I don't know if it's gonna be like bizarre, like savory, or I don't know. I've seen a lot of fun stuff on Pinterest where it's like a lot of lookalikes. Oh yeah, see, Maddie knows all about that lookalike game. She's making cakes into all types of stuff these days. Check it out.
We were just talking about it actually because we were considering doing something in our house now in the yard, and Rodney, who owns a pie shop, he's always going to do a wedding pie. So we were talking. We were talking about that also. So definitely.
Oh, I just did something. Yeah.
Hi, living room.
Yeah, so we were talking about that possibly. So, I mean, there's anything we can do. I mean, I don't know. We don't even know where we're going to be at.
We enjoy the potluck style of the parties that we throw, so.
And just having restaurant owners and friends and stuff like that. We're like, invite them on, hey, bring stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I don't need more junk, but I'm always welcome to food.
So, yeah. But no, and then just simple stuff like that, you know? It's like, we try to live a simple life, man, like anybody, you know?
Oh, I have one question for you then.
Oh.
With all of your extra time, what is your one thing that you've done new?
This
is it? This is your newest and your best endeavor?
Well, no, it's something that like I've, you know, if you look at my Instagram,
yeah,
you know, it's a lot of pictures, right? I'm like, I don't really talk very much. It's more about the pictures of the donuts. I don't talk
that. Which is not you. We talk forever.
Yeah, which is something. So I did the first interview and I was like, oh, that was fun. And I mean, I got 1,000 views. For the first one. So I was like, all right. Then my wife, the creative genius over there, you know, she Sweet Talk Saturday came about, and you know, I think this is the newest thing that I've done, you know, while in quarantine, and also being able to spend more time with my kids and my wife, you know, not being able to go anywhere because, you know, some people are venturing out, you know, and doing other things, but, you know, with my daughter, she has an autoimmune disease, and, you know, we can't.
Did our donut.
Yeah, we can't. I can't risk. You know, we can't risk. You know, bringing something back. So, you know, we've been playing games. We've been having movie nights. You know, they're real into Marvel right now, so we're watching. You know, all of the movies. It's, you know, so I'd say that is another thing that with working, before all this, spent a lot of time working and not a lot of time, spending time with family. So I think that's
That was
it.
one of our things, actually.
You should see the garden we started.
Yeah. That was one of our things that we did. We were talking about, like, we enjoyed being home together with the dogs and everything so much. We were like, all right, this is something down the road that we have to work on now. Like, when we do open back up, instead of spending all of our time at the shop doing all this, we have to figure it out how we can have home time too.
Have a home and not a crash pad.
Yeah. Our dog's house.
Facts.
But yeah, so it's definitely it definitely put you, I think
It forced you into a different perspective.
yeah, and I think it's with everybody. I hope that people take a step from this and learn from this and like realize how much, like, being with your family, how much you love it and want to do it, and you work it into your life more.
My nephew now comes and runs around in the backyard. It's the
Yeah.
best thing ever. I've never been on a schedule to be able to see him like that, so it's great.
Yeah. So there was something here that Teresa Casson, what about a donut painter donut? Teresa, do you mean like being able to, make your own donuts? I think they're doing something like that.
Yeah, our first round of kits will be going out tomorrow, actually, and they should be live for all 3 days next week.
Yeah. So
Cool.
the other thing was we've talked about doing something like that before with so I was a tattoo artist for years and tattoo industry. I was in the industry. So we had talked to doing some events around town with some different tattoo shops and basically taking like little bags of glazes and stuff so they could design, like take a shell and they could design a
More of a full piping.
like full piping.
This one's a little bit more geared
Yeah.
towards kids because I've had a lot of cries from moms who have been at home. They said, I need some things to occupy.
So we're doing the smaller, like the ones we do for weddings, like the 2-inch donuts, 2.5-inch donuts. So we're doing those. We're doing 13 of them.
3 glazes and a bunch of toppings.
Yeah, I think chocolate glazed,
Caramel.
caramel, and then vanilla. And then we're also doing like a bunch of toppings in it. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's great.
Crawltimore just joined. Said hello.
Yes. Good morning.
Afternoon.
Afternoon, right?
Actually, night.
It's our
Yeah.
second morning, technically.
Good night. But yeah, definitely some different things. We always think of stuff. You know how I've got 100 ideas.
Yeah.
It's just having the time to do
And
one.
then I make them into real.
But no, it's been working. Like the fun stuff like that. I brought
I gotta
a unicorn home for you.
Oh, nice.
I was like, oh, I gotta take a donut. I'll send it to you.
Right, definitely.
Don't say that. Everybody's gonna hit us up for delivery and shipping.
Yeah, we talked about that. No,
I think
but definitely.
I'm looking at my pile of donuts here that I had. Oh, here. We'll pretend. Look at that. He just, whoa.
Nice. That's awesome. There you go.
Cheers.
That's so great.
So, again, I got to figure out a donut tattoo. I don't have one. I have several tattoos, but got to come up with something creative.
I don't have one either.
Okay, so I think we actually have ours. It just has to be put into action. So a friend of ours had gotten into a whole bunch of extracurricular things and had made us one of like the classic like American style daggers that has the donut like on dagger. I was like, sold. I'm done. Let me get it.
Yeah. So that
Nice
definitely.
pink frosting, sprinkles. I'm like, yep, let's do it.
So we've talked about it too. I haven't been tattooed since my accident. So
You got
a
real
little
close.
over like right around 8 years now. So I don't know, man. I'm like, I definitely would like to do it. So maybe when you come up next time, we'll figure it out and go.
Bright side's right around the corner.
All right. Sounds good. Well, as I said, I could talk to you for hours.
No, I know.
We've already talked for about an hour. So again,
Oh, hell.
yeah, thanks.
All right.
Again, thanks for joining. It's always great catching up. Looking forward to being back in the shop soon. And go check out Diablo Doughnuts on Instagram. Follow them, like them, and if you're in the Baltimore area, you definitely got to check them out. Best of Baltimore, one of the best on the east northeast, in my opinion. So, thanks again, Roz, Emily. Appreciate your time. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Tell
All
our
right.
family to give them our love, and
Will do.
talk to you soon. See you
All
soon.
right. Take
man.
care.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
Have a great day.
Stay safe. Bye.